Hey, what's up guys, it's Davis here, back with another video. And today we're going to be talking about the Galaxy S7 Edge. Is it a phone you should still consider buying in 2021? Right, so guys, if you're new to my channel, please help me and subscribe. Yeah, I'd really be grateful. And if you end up liking the video, give me a thumbs up. Yeah. Most importantly, please help me and subscribe because I need those numbers, eh? Right, so starting off with the Galaxy S7 Edge, we won't be talking about it in different sections like display and build quality, speakers and all that, like how they held up in 2021 and the software and stuff. So right, starting off with the build quality on this, so the S7 was released with a glass back and a glass front. I believe it was glass, Gorilla Glass 4 at the time, and then aluminum frame in between the two, right? So even for 2021, I think this is a very well built phone. Even by today's standards, actually, I think it's better than some, if not most, mid-range phones by today's standards. 2021, yeah, it was a really well built phone. And yeah, other than the bezels and the display and all that, I mean, it has held up so well, especially for this color that I have. Even like aqua blue, it was a very nice color, and still a very solid device. So yeah, you still have an IP rating of IP68, so you can submerge it in water. But yeah, that's to show off its age. I think it was the last Galaxy phone to have a USB, like Galaxy flagship to have a USB type, the micro USB. Yeah, I think it was the very last Galaxy phone to have it's micro USB. So yeah, I think that's that's one thing that might disturb you if you've been using the modern phones, right? Having to get a different charger or a different cable for it, you know. But yeah, at the time you still had a headphone jack and a very good loudspeaker. I mean, I think it's even better than the Galaxy S8's speaker. For that I can confirm. This phone had a very good loudspeaker. I had a single firing one, but it was a really nice one. Something that you're going to enjoy for sure. Yeah. Really nice speaker. So you never had a stereo speaker setup. Yeah, at the time Samsung had started implementing that in its flagships, right? And yes, you had whatever support for dual SIMs in some variants, the dual versions. Yeah, and then for these ones, some of them had just one SIM and micro SD card. Yeah, so that's about the body, I believe. Right, so talking about the display was a 1440p 5.5 inches, and I would say it has held up so nicely. Still very nice display and vibrant, you know, looks really great, that's without a doubt. But yeah, some of the downsides are the brightness. That's something that you will notice when you go outside, you know, it's not that bright. Yeah, but the display is really nice, and obviously you don't have high refresh rates, so those are some of the things you're going to notice. I believe by the time you want to buy an S7 Edge, I don't think there's so much about refresh rates here. And I believe it's not okay. It's not a big deal for me, and it wouldn't be a deal breaker for me right now, at least. Given the price of the phone, and yeah, the display is still really good. Like 1440p, it's going to be very vibrant, except for situations when you're in like very bright whatever, like a very like under very bright sunlight or something of the sort. That's when you'll notice that it's a bit dim, it's not that bright. But otherwise indoors it's a very good display. Even by 2021 standards, 1440p still beats out very many of these these were mid-range phones. Yeah, Super AMOLED 1440p, really nice display. Only thing missing on it, maybe high refresh rates, and yeah, the brightness would have been better. So that's what I can say about the display. So moving on to the cameras of these. So the cameras, it had a 12 MP camera at the back. Really nice one. I think even by today's standards, it still takes some good, nice photos. Photos are still solid, very good photos, and the video quality is also still impressive. Better than most mid-range phones as I'm comparing. Yeah, still beats out most of the mid-range phones when it comes to video quality. So this can take up to 4K 30 FPS, and it's still some solid video, I'm telling you. Still comparable to even modern day flagships right now. video is still good. Yeah, even the photo quality not all that bad. Only thing that lacks obviously is a lack of an ultra wide and a telephoto. But yeah, I don't think that's a big deal for most people, especially now. Like in my case, I don't really use the ultra wide camera that much, so I don't think it will bug me that much. But I don't use it all that often. But yeah, it would have been good to have it right there. It would have been good to have an ultra wide. Yeah, but you still have those sensors, flashlight and heart rate sensors and all that stuff. Things that are no longer on the newer phones. Yeah. And then the front camera for selfies is still a nice one. It was a wide camera, wider than I think most of the modern flagships from Samsung. That are very wide aspect ratio. Like you can tell when you're taking photos that it's really wide in comparison to other normal phones. Yeah, very wide camera, but it still holds up nicely. Only that it's kind of soft when you're inside. Like indoors, you're gonna tell that it's really soft. It doesn't capture that much detail, you know. Yeah, that's what I can say about the selfie camera. So it has that softness, like when you're indoor, making the picture look a bit oily and stuff. Okay, not terribly, but I think it's best. It's better outdoors, but indoors not the best selfies. You're not going to get the best selfies. And I think that carried on up to the S10, because the S10 camera wasn't also good indoors. Yeah. So yeah, that's about the cameras. So yeah, I still have some solid video and solid photos. So in the camera section, I think it's worth buying. It's still good even for 2021. It's not that bad. Only that you don't have obviously ultra wide and a telephoto. Those are the only things that you're missing. But otherwise, its camera is still solid, I would say. Right. So moving on to battery life. So this has a 3600 mAh battery. I would say it's just fine, to be honest. If you're a heavy user, you're going to struggle a little bit. But yeah, I think its battery is just fine. Not that bad and not that good. It's not impressive in any way, but yeah, obviously it will depend on the battery health of the phone that you're buying. If it's terribly used, then battery health is terrible. You're going to experience some terrible battery life. But if you get a good one in good condition, I think it's not going to be all that bad. It's going to be usable. Yeah, it's not going to be that terrible. Yeah, I think that's it about battery life. And then the charging speed, obviously it was charging at 15 watts. So not all that fast, but given the battery is not all that big either, it's not going to be all that slow. Maybe under 2 hours it'll be fully charged. And yeah, I think that's what I can say about the battery. Battery is good if you get the right phone, like good battery health. You're not going to struggle too much. So talking about storage, so most of these phones came with a 32 GB, but there were 128 GB variants and 64 GB variants that you could use. And they all came with a dedicated micro SD card slot. So yeah, you could expand your storage, except for the duos variants where you would have to choose in between an SD card or a second line, right? So yeah, that's basically it for storage, but most of them come with 32 GB. Yeah, but given you have room for an SD card, I think storage isn't too much of a big deal. Yeah, I think that's all I can talk about this phone. And then maybe the software. Obviously the software is a big issue, to be frankly honest. So this the one I'm having right here is running Android 7 Nougat, but it's upgradable to Android 8. Yeah, you could get Android 8, and I think you would still be stuck with TouchWiz, which isn't really all that good. Like if you're used to the modern One UI, I mean the icons look like ancient and all that, but if you can get a custom ROM or whatever, you can custom ROM it, or maybe use whatever is like these are launchers, Nova launcher and all that. I think it's a phone you can still use perfectly well without any issues. Yeah, still perfectly usable if you can get like a custom launcher. But if you stick with this TouchWiz, I mean the icons really look old and everything. Yeah, you're going to be you can easily tell like it's an old phone. Yeah, I think that's all I can say about the S7 Edge. I think it's still a usable device, but you're going to find challenges in terms of talking about like the software. I think that's the biggest let down with these phones. The hardware is still capable, but yeah, when it comes to software, obviously not getting any more support. You're not going to get one UI or any of them, but maybe you can custom ROM it. Yeah, but obviously that's an extra thing that you have to do, and it's kind of complicated because you can end up spoiling your phone and all that. But yeah, I would say that the hardware is still good even for 2021, but software lets it down a little bit. But if you're not all about software and all that, Android versions and what, it's still a solid phone that you can use with solid cameras, that are going to deliver every time. Not many issues to talk about. Maybe the battery can become an issue if you get one that has terrible battery health, and then the performance also isn't as good as it used to be. But yeah, I think it's still good enough, to be honest. You can play most of the games and all that. You're not going to be struggling too much. It's only really let down by the software. So I think that's my verdict on the Galaxy S7 Edge. Yeah, still a good device, but if you're all about software, performance, and all that kind of stuff, you're going to be struggling. Right, so that's my verdict on the Galaxy S7. If you're new to my channel, please help me and subscribe. I'll be grateful. Yeah, see you guys in the next one.